babes, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Now's a good time to go ahead and subscribe. Y'all know we jump right into the videos, so don't be alarmed. We're starting off with freshly washed hair. Of course, you guys know I use OLAPLEX. You don't know, right? That's why you're here. Anywho, I am using OLAPLEX shampoo and conditioner. Of course, there will be links to the products down in my description box below to go ahead and kind of add a little bit of hydration and heat protectant to my hair. I'm actually taking the Chi and the MIZANI products. These are just like their thermal styling products, and I'm using these in combination with each other to create the perfect seal to prevent any further heat damage. When I say further, I really don't have much, but you guys can actually see the difference in my hair texture since I've done the big chop. So I'm just making sure to fully smooth everything into my hair. You guys can see I only use maybe max a quarter size amount. You know that dime size really doesn't work these days, so I use about a quarter size amount to just silk all of the product through my hair to make sure that we will not have to deal with any additional like straight pieces and just all that craziness that happens after you straighten your hair. So far I've only silk pressed my hair about 3 times this year, and so that's my goal. I want to maybe do 3 to maybe max 4 silk presses throughout the year, and of course that's just going to be to maintain like the trims and all that good stuff. So right now, if you are a beginner, this is you trying to figure this out at home, you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just finger detangling all of my hair, sectioning it off into 4 sections. That way it makes it a lot easier for you to go through your hair and really get it as straight as possible with the blow dryer. Don't worry, we're not going to be using super high heat, but I want to show you how to kind of just move through this process really quickly. So now that we have that last back section all smoothed out, we want to make sure that we have everything detangled. There should not be no lumps, no bumps, nothing, right? So if you weren't able to do most of the work in the shampoo bowl or the sink, shower, whatever you feel comfortable with, shame on you. You should have your hair mostly detangled before you even get to this point. When I say mostly, it should totally be detangled. The only thing you should be doing is just making sure that no curls have kind of formed upon themselves and really stretch out the hair. So I want to take a step down memory lane. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys remember this silk press video. My hair was awesome, and then a disaster happened, right? So randomly I started getting these spots in my head, just this one really in the center that began to just fall out. We'll have another discussion about that. Thanks to the lovely products that I have formulated, I actually was able to get that bald spot removed. And then I decided it's time to transition, because as you guys saw before, the nape of my neck was kind of breaking off. I was using a ton of heat to do ponytails and just all type of styles that were cute but very pointless because they did not help the texture or length or anything to my hair. So this is where we were at the top of 2020, and you guys remember this video where I showed you how to get it trimmed. And then of course about a month into that, I actually did my first wash and go, which you guys can see how that turned out. A few months later, I decided to do a braidless blowout, and then of course we did a cute silk press, and this was just about maybe 4 months ago for the last trim that I did, and then now we are here. So I have gotten trims in between this, of course, but I just wanted to give you a quick flashback just so that you guys get a chance to take a look at what my hair used to look like. Now today's video is not sponsored, but I was sent a bunch of products from EAPHEAT, so I'm just finally utilizing them to kind of get a feel of what it is their blow dryer has to offer. And so right now you guys see I have the comb attachment. I literally never use the comb attachment. This blow dryer is so freaking powerful. I will say that it got my hair super dry in like literally 10 seconds. You guys got to see that. I did not speed up this part of the video, and I did that with intention because I wanted you to really get a chance to see, number one, how thick my hair is, how kinky it is, and just how easy it was for me to get it straightened out without having to use too much muscle. So and typically you guys know I use the tension method when it comes to blow drying, especially if I'm going to be straightening out my hair, because you want to get it as bone straight as freaking possible. But since this was my first time using this blow dryer, I wanted to do one side with the comb attachment, and then you guys will eventually see me do the other side with I don't even know the name of the attachment, but it's the attachment that I use to actually do the tension method. So it's just a direct heat blowout. tool. I don't know. Anywho, so as you guys can see, I'm just pulling my hair directly out. I kind of realized that in order to really stretch this, I couldn't start from the root. I really needed to start from the ends and then work my way up without using too much heat. So in case you guys are wondering what the temperature of the blow dryer is, they have 3 settings. I have it on the second one, which is kind of like a mid temperature, not too hot, not too cold. And then I actually turned it up, not on full speed, but on the second speed, which was like a medium intensity speed. Not really sure how to describe that, but you guys can see just how fast I'm going through my hair. Like I said, it's only been about 5 minutes in. So far, none of the video has been sped up at all, and you guys are able to see just how quickly I was able to just run through my hair. Now, the first thing that I noticed is that I was not able to tackle my roots like normal. The ends were still kind of straggly, didn't really make me feel confident, and I didn't want anything to kind of like break off as I was straightening my hair, so that did kind of make me nervous, just because I'm like, this would be okay if I wanted to do maybe a blown out twist out. But yeah, we got to get back to the tension method. So you guys see I have my thermal brush here, which if you guys can't find it, I know that like some people were letting me know like, hey girl, it was all sold out. Okay, I'm actually considering selling the thermal brushes, so let me know if that's something you would like for me to add to the site. I'm not really sure yet. It's a very helpful tip for me, but you guys can kind of get the technique here. I'm literally just making sure that everything's detangled first, of course, and then starting from the root and just kind of holding it directly straight out. And the thermal brush actually reflects the heat back, so you don't have to worry about the opposite side like not getting enough heat. Everything is literally being circulated right over and under and in between the strands, and you guys are able to just see how effortlessly in one swipe I was able to go from dry hair, I was able to go from wet hair to dry hair. What am I even saying? Okay, and I'm just going towards the ends of my hair just to really kind of focus that tension there, because as y'all know, the ends of my hair are a little bit more kinky, so I really wanted to make sure that they are straight. Plus it was time for a trim, so you guys will kind of get a quick little duster video. I actually am scheduled to get an actual trim with my girl Roxy in about 2 weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. But you guys will get to see how I kind of maintain my trims in between time and make sure that my ends are kind of where they need to be. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just finish up the blow drying, and then I'll be right back to kind of get into how we are going to go ahead and straighten this hair. Voila, you guys are able to see how on one side it was just a little bit poofier than the other, and then of course the side that I used with the tension method definitely came out a lot straighter at the ends. But nevertheless, I ended up just blow drying it all together and my hair began to revert. So I'm thinking it's me, not the blow dryer. Nevertheless, you guys, EAP Heat also sent me a flat iron, which I absolutely love. You guys see it has that digital temperature set there as well. I turned it all the way up to 400 400. Typically you use like a 450, but the goal here is to show you how you can still get the look without having to put too much intensity when it comes to blow drying and flat ironing into your hair and still get very nice sleek results, especially if your texture is closer to mine. I'm not here to really say if it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but y'all know what it is. Okay, y'all see what it is. Anyway, so I'm starting with the back, and I typically start with the back of my hair just because I like to finish in the front. And if you guys did not know, my journey with the nape of my neck has been quite a journey. Okay, you guys might remember when it was super short, so I called myself, I think I did this in a vlog, I actually completely shaved that entire back row, like the full 2 inches of space there. I shaved it off to allow it to grow straight from scratch, and so this is where we are. I'm pretty confident that it's about a good 3 to 4 inches of hair, and so that makes me feel good because it lets me know that my hair is continuously been moisturized and hydrated and that we are retaining some length. So that makes me really, really happy. Now, when it comes to, of course, sectioning off your hair with the flat iron, well, I guess in order to flat iron, you do kind of want to be mindful, I guess, of the way that you're doing this. Typically, if you part the hair in more of a diagonal motion, it's kind of going not against the grain, but going with the grain of the hair. And so it just allows everything to lay a little bit flatter. If you decide to begin parting straight across, most of the time it is going to lay with a little bit more volume. A lot of this kind of just depends on your hand placement also. So as you guys can see, like in some sections, I was actually lifting up the flat iron as I was pulling it away from my hair. And then in other sections, I was actually laying it as close to my scalp as possible and continuing that motion all the way down. I didn't do that intentionally, but of course, I do know that I love a lot of volume, and so me lifting this up actually just helped me out, honestly. You guys can kind of see the raise, but if that's not something you feel comfortable with, then stick to what you know. If you want that super flat look, then you are definitely going to want to bump up the heat on the flat iron and definitely make sure that you're parting all of your hair in diagonal motions until you complete the style. So if it does help and your hair is having a little trouble kind of getting smoothed out at the ends, go ahead and take a Rexel comb, make sure that it's going to be like heat resistant, and actually just follow the flat iron using the comb. In some spots I don't have to do it, but typically in the areas where my hair is a lot more kinky, which is like the center, just really thick and kind of hard to get through, I absolutely make it like a priority. Okay, so use the comb just to get through each section. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just allow you to watch because I'm typically a visual learner, and I think this part's kind of self-explanatory. I think for the most part you just want to make sure that you're taking your time, not going over any section too many times. You guys will see where I'm kind of like taking the flat iron and tapping my roots. Well, that's because I know that typically that part of my hair is the first to revert back to its natural state. So I wanted to make sure that everything was smooth. And as you guys can see, I'm going over like some sections max 2 times. So as you guys can see, I do have a little bit of weight on my hair now. Of course, it comes with the length, but also I can see that there's a bit of product buildup. I think that that's from the OLAPLEX conditioner. So it is a bond kind of constructor or repair type of thing. And typically they do have a pretty thick consistency, and they tend to kind of just weigh down the hair. That's exactly what happened in this case. I was okay with it because I prefer that. A little bit more product on my hair actually helps to retain, I guess, the amount of time that it's going to stay straight, so without having to get too much heat damage. So I did not mind. But in case you're one of those ones that, you know, or one of those ones one of those people that really want to focus on having the most sleek, light feather hair, you're going to want to make sure that you really wash that conditioner out and be extremely mindful of how much of the thermal protectant you actually use. So you want to be mindful of that. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and just get this finished up. You guys will see me kind of tapping again the roots and kind of cleaning up around the hairline as well with the flat iron, just getting everything straight. If you have a smaller flat iron, I strongly suggest using it. Do not burn your edges. Don't burn your face, like trying to get your hair straight. If you have to do it, go ahead. But if you can get a smaller flat iron, go ahead and do that. I just wanted to do everything with this one because, why not, right? But for the most part, I think we were all set. So I'm finally going to shut up because I know I can literally talk this entire video. So yeah, leave any comments or questions down below. If you guys are struggling during this part, definitely let me know so I can, of course, come back and make maybe a more detailed video for you guys, explaining maybe 1 to 2 processes. So let me know if you need help there. And yeah, we're just going to continue this all the way around until we are done. right, guys, so we are finishing up. You guys see I did not go overboard with straightening I guess like the edges area. You know, typically I'll style up the baby hair and do all that. We're gonna skip that step just because I feel like I really want to focus on the hair and really just kind of getting the I guess my ends kind of trimmed off. I probably could have taken off a little bit more hair, but again, I'll be going to my stylist to get like a deeper trim in about 2 weeks. So I just kind of wanted to get rid of what I could since I was going to be wearing it straight and just make sure that the shape is there. And of course, it pretty much is. She does an amazing job of just making sure that everything is properly trimmed. And we've actually been able to get my bangs to catch up with the back of my hair. Y'all know the back of my hair grows super fast, but you guys can see when it comes to cutting, I'm literally just pulling the hair straight out, right? So when it comes to angles, I know it can be a little confusing and you got to have that hand-eye coordination together. So if you are not experienced with this, I do not suggest to go in trimming your hair. If you are a visual learner and you can just kind of pick up here how I'm going 360, going all around my head, kind of smoothing the hair down and then flipping it directly up to trim it, then listen, you might not want to do this step, okay? I'm totally okay with that because I do not want y'all blaming me like, well, Chrissy said, And make sure that you have some shears as well. There are plenty available online and store. There's no excuse to be using kitchen scissors or I don't know, paper scissors. Like, no, get some shears. I promise you they will last you a while. Just make sure that they stay sharp and you should be all set. You guys can see where I'm just kind of going all throughout my hair, hair and cleaning up those ends. They honestly were not that bad. I did not have a ton of split ends. We're just getting rid of just the bottom because I know once we go back for the actual trim, she's definitely going to take off about a half an inch. Like, I'm aware of that and I'm cool with that. But for the time being, this is just for the sake of the video. So again, I'm just pulling everything straight out, making sure that all of my sections match, and we've definitely been able to kind of clean up as many spots as possible. Y'all, I'm loving the shine on my hair. I can't tell you the last time that I remember it just being like this shiny. So I'm gonna just contribute that to the OLAPLEX. Honestly, the Chi always works wonders, but of course, just to take it up a step, I'm gonna use the BioSilk, which is super lightweight. So if you want to, you know, have another way to kind of moisturize your hair without doing too much, no heavy oils or anything that's really going to weigh down the hair, maybe mix the BioSilk with the MIZANI and you may be where you want to be. It's just not a heat protectant, so just be aware of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much bump the ends. Y'all know we all love a good bump, or at least I do, just because it really shows the body and the hair and kind of just gives the light a little bit more areas to kind of reflect off of. And I absolutely love that. So I'm just smoothing everything over. I've now turned the flat iron down to 300 because you don't need an extremely high heat. And just make sure that you do that maybe about a minute or two before you actually put it on your head, because it is iron, it is metal. It's still going to be kind of hot. So even at 300, it may truly still have been like a 350, 375. So just be aware of that. Because again, the goal is not to have a heat damage. And by now, by the time that you see this video, of course, my hair is already back in its natural state. And it literally looks exactly the way that it did before, I guess we began this process. So I'm really happy about that. You guys, my hair looks super shiny. It was so freaking soft to touch. I don't know if you could just tell from looking at it, but it was super duper soft. And y'all, I was so mad at my lashes this whole time. Like, don't be trying to clock me. Y'all might just now realize it now that I'm saying it, but one lash was like up and the other was down. Y'all, my faces literally got me weak this entire video. Like, what in the world? Y'all know, typically when it comes to like the flat iron, I usually use my 2-inch iron just to kind of move through this a little bit faster. But again, for the sake of the video, I just kind of want to show you how you can get everything done with 2, I guess, styling products or thermal products, heating products. Y'all know what I'm saying. A blow dryer and a flat iron, okay? And so as you guys can see, everything is smoothed out. My hair is the healthiest it has ever looked. We don't have any bald spots. We don't have any areas that are just breaking away. Everything is the way that it should be, and I'm super happy about that. I'm so glad I was able to share this experience with you. Again, make sure that you are subscribed and that you have on your post notifications, because there will be so many more updates. In the next video, I'll actually be showing you how to wrap your hair. So if you are a beginner and you're not sure how to kind of make the style last and really hold it up, then definitely make sure that you check that video out. I love you guys so much. Stay pretty, and I will see you next time. Bye, babies.